One of the reasons people don't like to sleep in the loft when they get older is that they got to go to the bathroom. That's just the reality of life. And so I decided I could fix that. I am a collector of things, and some people are more minimalist, but for me, it makes it feel like home. I knew I wanted to sell the house we were in, so he died in April. My kids said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm going to sell the house." And they actually offered some other solutions, and all were quite surprised when I said, "No, I'm going to move to Tennessee from Washington State and live in a tiny house." Hi, my name is Barbara. This is my tiny house. Would you like to take a tour? Let's go in. Well, welcome to my home. We just came in the door, and you're now in my living room. So when you walk in, my goal was for you to say, "This looks like a comfortable little home, not just a tiny house." I am a collector of things, and some people are more minimalist, but for me, it makes it feel like home. And so far, people that have come in have felt like, "Come in, sit down, let's visit," and they feel comfortable. And what I did was bring my own recliner and another vintage rocking chair. I had a house full of Mission period, mostly antiques, and so I had some things to draw from. I knew I wanted to use my old crates for bookcases, so I brought them, had a shelf added under the window so that I could have some display of personal items. I'm not big on living in a fishbowl, so I didn't want that big window open all the time. And in my last home, they had a window similar to this where the top was open. And so I opted to put the shade about halfway down. I can keep it closed, still get light, but not have people, especially since I'm on a corner lot, looking in all the time. These homes all come with mini splits, and so I have a remote to control that, and there's fans in both rooms, and I'm able to stay cool or warm quite easily. I'm comfortable. I can remember where each thing came from. It makes me feel a little more connected to my family. Almost anything I look at has a history, and so I'm far away from everybody, and yet there's reminders of my past and my history. I started watching a lot of the tiny house shows on TV. I was married, and my husband was not interested in watching those shows, but the idea fascinated me, and the more I thought about it and prayed about it, the more I felt that was what I'd like to do at some point. But his health was gradually declining over a long period of time. And in my heart, I knew that after he died, I would do this. I knew I wanted to sell the house we were in. So he died in April. My kids said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm going to sell the house." And they actually offered some other solutions, and all were quite surprised when I said, "No, I'm going to move to Tennessee from Washington State and live in a tiny house." And I was here by late July. When you come in the front door, you will see the fridge right in front of you. I guess it's technically part of the living room. Everyone uses it differently. But I wanted the fridge there instead of at the other end because I wanted more shelving down here. So I had this built in for my microwave so I could reach it more easily. And then I am from Washington, and I like my lattes and I like my coffee. So I needed a shelf for all that. I would have preferred a smaller sink because it's just me alone. I don't need this. I've never filled it. It came with the house and it works, but I would have rather had the trade-off and have a few more inches of counter space. And under here are 2 electric burners, and I had this custom made so I have a little more space when I'm working, and it kind of becomes my stand-up office. I just have to keep here what I need, and I can store extra food and stuff out in the storage shed now that I have that nice one with a place to put it. The kitchen is on one side that you just saw. Straight across on the other side is the bathroom. You get used to having the bathroom that close to your kitchen. Tiny houses are often built that way. It's not big, but it's functional. I wanted to continue with some of the same thing. It comes with a standard sink and this cabinet. The extra decor and making this black instead of silver went with my theme of changing this. But this is standard. It has a toilet standard in this, and it has a 32-inch shower. So I did change the fixtures in there too. They're black. I wanted a double head so I could have water hitting me from both sides. So I figured out something I could do there. I, in my whole life, had never had anything less than 48-inch shower or a tub shower, even growing up. So this is the first time in my life I have had to be in a 32-inch shower, so it feels small to me, but I've adjusted to it. The cabinet was something I got off of Amazon, but I have a real medicine cabinet that way. This little plug-in is really handy. You can be charging a cell phone. You can be plugging in a hair dryer. It has regular plugs too. This one has a charger for my Apple Watch, so I've really enjoyed that. I added an extra stream of light so I can do my makeup. And on this side, I have a storage unit. It's one of those over-the-toilet ones, and then I have things organized there. As small as it is, I have found a way to put everything I need in here and organize it and figure out what doesn't have to be in my bathroom. I don't have any problem using the space, and so I adjusted to it, but it has everything I need. I chose Tennessee because this is where Incredible Tiny Homes was. And as I watched more and more videos, I watched that he was building a whole community here, and he had a vision for what could happen. And I like what I saw, and I thought that would be a good fit for me, and I wouldn't have to go look for a piece of land and live alone and have that to deal with too. So that's why I came here. Everyone here is very friendly, and I have built some friendships that are closer than others, but everyone tries to help each other if you know something. And it takes time to get to know people, but except for the newer houses, the older ones, it's still the same people that were here. They were some of the very first people here. So I feel comfortable that I have help if I need it. You were in the living room, and then you came to the kitchen and saw the bathroom. This is at the other end of the house from the living room. This is a downstairs bedroom, which a lot of people, couples, and a lot of women opt to sleep in. I like sleeping in my sleeping loft. So for now, it's kind of an everything room. This is my more shabby chic room versus shabby country. I love clothes, and so it was my choice to take 2 feet of the bedroom and make it a closet. I am going to eventually move seasonal clothes out to my storage shed, but right now everything's in there. This is a tiny little table, and both sides flip down, and it's only about 8 inches wide. So I thought it was the perfect size to bring here, and so I have it open, but if I needed to sleep down here because my health changed, I could still fold that up and have it here. Along with being the closet and my office, and my boudoir for those things, it also has a storage unit here. And then over here is where the washer dryers are hooked up in this model. And I have a combo unit. Also behind this barn door, I have a full-length mirror. I wanted to keep this room open because I have this space, and when you walk in here, you don't feel crowded. And from the other room, it makes the house look really big to see this open space, and then it can function in all these other ways. But if my health fails, I know I'll have to change things around. I wanted to be sure to point out some things about the stairs. Number one, these are regular stair height. Some of the homes with a loft had these giant steps, which are again hard for people to get up and down. I wanted it to be as safe as possible. I put these strips on, the kind you put outside, and it helps your foot stick to it and makes it a lot safer. And then on this side, I wanted a handrail, and it gives me something very solid to hold on to going up and down the stairs. And then I got these puck lights that at night just come on going up and then go off, but they make it really safe to go up at night. I feel like when you're sitting up here, at least the way I've decorated, I kind of feel like I'm a little princess or a little child, and I think most of your younger children would love a sleeping loft. A lot of people, since where I live, we're mostly older, especially the women don't want to be going downstairs every night, and so they opt to sleep downstairs. But I thought it would be lots of fun, and I do enjoy sleeping up here, but I've tried to make it look more like a bedroom, not just a place to sleep. So it's very girly, it's not masculine, for sure. One of the reasons people don't like to sleep in the loft when they get older is that they got to go to the bathroom. That's just the reality of life. And so I decided I could fix that. So over here in this curtained area, I have a porta potty. Now, you have to be willing to carry that downstairs and clean it and bring it back up, but you don't have to go downstairs all night. I just open it, use it, and close it back up. I like my windows. I put up a tension rod for curtains, but I also have a roller shade that if I want it to be super dark up here, I can roll it down and then roll it back up. And I like being able to look at my stained glass. It brightens it up. To me, it just feels like a nice, cozy, special place, and it works for me. Welcome to my porch. I wanted a nice porch that would offer room for a lot of people to gather and enjoy themselves, and I wanted it to be homey and more like an extra room off in the house. So I wanted also to be weather safe as possible. So it's screened in, screen door, there's screens, and the bottom half is covered and everything's, painted to match. I get very little, even in a heavy rainfall, very little rain on here. I have curtains, so in the winter, we could turn the heater on and still be out here. A lot of this furniture I brought with me. I wanted a lot of things out here. I wanted it to be a real happy place that you walked up and you felt happy and it was comfortable to sit down and start talking. And so that was important to me. Thank you for coming and taking this tour of my home and seeing how I live. You have seen that I can live comfortably here, that it's spacious enough easily for one person, but even a couple could manage nicely. I hope it's given you a little food for thought if you have never considered this as an option to reduce your expenses. Even if you don't ever want to live here, you might have a friend or family member who's in a situation where this could be the best solution for them.